Today's quick question is from Visually Vin from Instagram. And he asks, where does Cedric get his haircut? I'm moving to Korea with Malaysian curls. Very good question. Very, very good question. And the simple answer to that is I actually cut my own hair.
Yeah.
I have been cutting my hair since I've moved here, and that was a little over 3 years ago. And if you noticed, I haven't really switched out my hairstyle too much. I mean, you've seen a difference in length, but at the end of the day, you'll notice that the sides of my head is always shaved. And that's because that's the only haircut I can give myself. So that's the simple answer. I actually don't go to a barber, but...
You went once.
I did go once.
And it went really well.
The reason why I actually went was because of you.
Yes, that's
true. So this is a little over 2 years ago, I think.
We weren't even dating then.
That's right. That's right before we started dating.
Mm-hmm. There's even a little voice in me on the video where I'm like, 오빠 멋있어. You can hear it off the camera.
Yeah, because you were feeling me. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I did get one haircut at a barbershop here, and that was only because it was a free haircut that I won through the magazine that at the time Becky was working for.
Yeah,
so
I gave him a free.
Yeah, because they were running a little contest with one of the...
local magazines.
Yeah, it's like a boutique barbershop, I guess you can call it. And so I was very nervous because at the time I pretty much just had super long hair on top. I had a big man bun, and I was like, I don't trust anyone to cut my hair. Not to say that there aren't people that could cut my hair here, but I just wasn't willing to risk it. You know what I mean? I was very nervous about it. And yeah, I ended up going to that barbershop. I did the video, which I'll link in the description. And also, you could check it out. It's really cool. I think
they did a good job.
I think he did a good job. If I could rate it, I would say a 7 out of 10, which is good.
Considering
it's not
that they're
great
cutting
and it's not like
Korean
the best
hair all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So let me explain for people who are like, well, what's the big deal? Why are you scared of going to a barbershop? Now, I grew up going to black barbershops in the States. And these black barbers, like, first of all, like, for me, like, when you find your barber, that's the barber you go to. You know what I mean? And sometimes finding a good barber that you gel with isn't easy. So for me, you know, during different periods of my life, I had just like one person I would go to. I'd go to the barbershop and I'd sit and wait for that person, right? And he cut my hair. And the reason is because the way I used to like to cut my hair, I would get either like fades. And to do a clean fade, especially with like an edge up, is not easy, right? You got to find a really good barber for that. So I was used to that sort of like caliber of haircut, especially with my type of hair texture. So I was like, I don't know if like Korean people can cut my hair in that way. I don't think so. And it's no slam. It's just like, obviously they're not cutting my type of hair every day.
Yeah.
Now, this guy, he actually did a pretty good job. I mean, it was a decent fade. Not the best, but it was decent. And he, cut the top pretty fine. But other than that, it's just like, I don't want to risk it. So I'm kind of scared, to be honest with you. But since you are coming to Korea with Malaysian curls, as you call it.
Which, by the way, I think it is different.
What do you mean?
Like, your hair is not what I would consider as black hair.
Yeah.
It's also not Korean hair.
No.
Like, the more that I look at your hair and learn about hair, yours is something different.
Yeah, I feel like it leans a little more towards the black side for sure. But it's definitely a mix. But it just really depends on how you want to style your hair, right? Like if you want like good fades and you're used to like edge ups and getting that like clean line. I think there are barbers who know how to do that here. I don't know where they are, but
Itaewon probably.
Yeah, I mean there are barbers who are like black barbers here. I think there are a couple of black barbershops that are in certain districts like Itaewon, which is a foreigner district. Lots of foreigners, lots of foreign like businesses. I think you could probably find some good barbers there. But for me, I just cut my own hair. I'm still a little nervous to
We should
try.
go get it cut somewhere. We should do it.
I'm very nervous.
Your hair grows so fast. Whatever.
It does. So depending on where you're moving to Korea, I think if you move to Seoul, you'll have probably an easier time finding a good spot that'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think you just have to find a good spot, and you might have to try a bunch of different places. As far as like people cutting curly hair, I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one. But there are Facebook groups here with expats that you could probably ask and say, hey, where would you recommend me go?
Hey, Cedric, will you cut my hair?
Me?
Yeah, you cut your own hair.
No, don't ask me. Do not ask me. Yeah, because I will mess it up. But yeah, so I mean, that's the short answer to the question. So just depending on what kind of style you're used to and what kind of style you want, you should be able to find somebody. It might take a little while, but hey, I think they're out there.
It's a time to explore and experiment.
Yeah. But if you move to the countryside, you're probably out of luck.
Yeah, just cut your own hair.
For sure. Yeah. You don't want to.
I don't have your kind of hair, so there's nothing I can input there.
Okay. I was gonna say for your type of hair, but maybe we'll save that for another video.
Yeah, no, that's no.
Cool. All right. So Visually Vin, thank you for the question. And if anybody out there listening, or if you're watching on YouTube, if you have a quick question, meaning any sorts of questions that you want to ask Becky and I about life in Korea, our personal lives, or pretty much anything, feel free to leave in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or you can reach out to us on Instagram, leave a quick question, or you can email us at theotherhalfofitpodcast@gmail.com.